I noticed in one of my other videos you can hear my fan, so I apologize for that if you just came from that episode. So, I'm sorry, and if you don't know what the hell I'm speaking, don't mind me. After explaining to Tanjiro what exactly happened, he understood Doma wasn't the one for boundaries, but the whole facade had been cleaned up. The two had headed away from the common station, as sooner or later a teacher would find out and call the police. You didn't want to get into another situation like that again. Yin, I have a question, Tanjiro said as he looked over at you. Yeah? You said. Tanjiro started to giggle a bit. What? Are you alright, Homeskeet? You said, knowing it made him laugh. Tanjiro tried to stop himself from laughing, but he failed. Oh my god, especially. Alright, so what were you going to tell me, bro? Homie? Crap. You said, trying to not speak how you normally do. You want to hear what he had to say. He wiped the straight tears from his eyes as he calmed down. He really did enjoy your company. So what I was going to ask is, what was your life before moving here? He said as he looked at you, curious of what you did before you guys met. I'm actually from another country, you said as Tanjiro looked closer at you. Really? Really? He fumbled with his words. He didn't expect this. You laughed as you pointed at him, confusing him. I thought it was obvious. My favorite type of movies was crappy rom-coms and horror movies. Sorry if they're not. You said, like you thought it was a clear as day. You had an ancient for god snake. Sorry. Oh my god, what? You have an accent, for God's sake. Sorry if you don't. Oh, really? Then where are you from? Tanjiro asked as he tilted his head. Also, for some reason, he didn't feel alone. I'm French, my dude. I'm not gonna be able to say this French, but nil kumishi okesan nil. But I'm natively French. You said as you did jazz hands, but Tanjiro looked as confused as ever. You said, forgot you don't understand me. I said I can also speak Espanol, but I can really get mad at you as you didn't know. But the more you know, I guess, you suggested. And sorry if you're not French, but yeah. Then patted his shoulder. He laughed nervously. He probably could have paid more attention to French class. Can you teach me? He asked. Lowly, you almost couldn't hear him as he turned away from you. Sure, I got nothing better to do. I also have a question. When does fencing start? You asked as you dragged him along. Oh, at the end of the day, he said as he blushed. You were holding his hand after all. You sighed. It always had to be at the end of the day. But no time to think about that as you guys headed to class. You stretched. As your last class had finally ended, like, why did they make this so boring? Except for science class. That was pretty fun. So as soon as the bell rang, you had gotten up and skedaddled right out the door. A huge smile on your face as you now have gone, title? I think that's title. Now have got opportunity to practice your favorite thing other than food. So you were walking down the hall. You ran into Tanjiro once more. Oh, hey Yin, going to go as well? He said as he smiled. He really did love your smile. Yeah, would you really think I'd bail out on this? Nope, you said. He then smiled as he took your hand. Then let's go. I don't think that Sir Hataru would let me off the hook this time, he said as he started to speed walk in the direction that he always go to the club. So what's everyone like there? You said as he dragged you down the hallway, some people giving the both of you some weird looks as they picked up for the day, but you two didn't mind. Well, they're a bizarre group of people, Tanjiro said as the two of you came to a halt at the old-fashioned door. That's a reference. Which looked like to be Japanese-inspired. You looked at him as he approached the sliding door and looked back at you to see your uncertain look. Don't worry, they're all pretty nice. Most of them are, he said as he opened the door. They're here too? You flinched as a body came crashing down onto your own. What? Mia Kabuturu? You yelled as Zenitsu started to cry dramatically. Zenitsu, get off them! Tanjiro. My bunny just loves being her. Tanjiro yelled as you saw Inosuke laughed his ass off. You just stood there as Tanjiro tried to pull Zenitsu off you. Keyword, try. But as they were arguing, you had noticed someone else in the room. Let me just say that there were a lot of people, like at least 15 or so, which most of them you recognized from the anime, and holy shit, was that Yorichi? Damn, I didn't think that a crappy game off of eBay would pay attention to detail. You had also noticed that Kogoshiba was also there. And like Akaza, he'd kept his 3 sets of eyes. What? Which now that you were seeing it in front of you, it was kind of uncanny to look. You sighed as the two continued to make a sense as everyone else looked as uncomfortable at you. Well, not everyone. Some just didn't care for their Inosuke. Sorry, let me go deal with my body. Sorry. What the hell happened when I was gone? Everyone, including Zenitsu, had turned to see who spoke. Zenitsu went pale and Tanjiro looked relieved. Oh, can I see who y'all are looking at so I'm just sure it's not a ghost for you? You said as Zenitsu started to grip you tighter than before. He looked like he actually saw a ghost too. Zenitsu, what are you doing? The mysterious person had spoken. Zenitsu then jumped off of you to reveal the person in question. It was a very pissed off looking Hataru with its arms crossed. Sorry, Sir Hataru. I was just welcoming your newest member, Zenitsu stuttered out and bowed lowly. Hataru raised one of his thick brows and sighed. But damn, his eyebrow game is on fleek. Alright, just go and sit down, Zenitsu, and thank you, Tanjiro, for trying to help, he said as he rubbed the bridge of his nose. Tanjiro then dragged Zenitsu and sat him next to Inosuke, who had calmed down by now. You snickered a bit. You were used to Zenitsu's clingy behavior. You had stopped when Hataru had walked up to you, and you guessed it, he was taller than you. I'm so sorry, miss. He does this to every girl he meets, he said, still keeping his annoying expression. You then waved your hand. Nah, he's my homie, so it's fine as long as he stops at some point, you said as he looked a bit confused. Jesus, does nobody? Never mind. Alright, so I'm guessing you're a newest club member, Yin? Hataru asked. That would be me, sir, you said as you looked around the room once more. It seemed to be lacking decorations, which was fine, but it seemed a bit bland. Yay, another girl, you heard a chippy voice, which you and Hataru had turned to look at, more like to see, leaned past him to see. It was Mitsuri, and she was as cute as ever. Hataru just sighed and walked off. Sit wherever you like, just don't bother me before class starts, he said as he walked over to one of the big dressers in the room and opened it. You shrugged and looked around for a spot. You just looked there awkwardly, but someone spoke up. You can sit. No, she can. She's sitting with us. You flinched. You had noticed Yorichi was the first one to speak, but as you guessed it, Inosuke had yelled over him.
but you just walked past them, but giving Irichi an apologize for Inosuke and sat down next to the other girls. Hello, I'm Mitsuri. Very excited to meet you. Oh god, I got the I'm not doing it. Another girl? I'm Shinobu, and please tell me if any of the boys are giving you any trouble. They both have said after each other. You had also noticed that they had their original uniforms from the anime or manga, which was pretty cool, I guess. Thank you. My name is Yin. I think I might have not any problems for now, you said as you rubbed the back of your neck. Why did they care again? You'll never know. But you had heard someone walk up to you. Hello. Oh, hello, Tengen. Mitsuri waved at him. You turned to look at him. And Jesus Christ, why was everyone and everything taller than you? Hi. I came over. Well, because I recognized you and I wanted to make sure you were the same person, Tengen said as he looked down at you. Well, you were sitting. Also, can I sit with you ladies? He asked as Mitsuri nodded and Shinobu didn't even seem to care. So he took that as a yes and sat down next to you, his knees supporting one of his buff arms. The reason I recognized you is that I saw Doma carry you through a fight in the hall. Also, hi, Tengen. Tengen, had won that fight. He said as a flamboyant put on oh my god, as he flamboyantly put a hand on his chest. He really looks proud of that. But Shinobu seemed to tense, and Mitsuri had looked worried. Doma is targeting you? Do we need to get the principal? She asked as Shinobu agreed. Yeah, did he do something to you? Tengen had asked, cocking his head to the side. He looks so menacing right now. But you were surprised them by both waving your hands around. No, I'm not that special now. It's just that he doesn't know personal space as well as why is everyone telling me what happened? Like, why? You said as the three of them remained silent, but the silence was disrupted by a loud noise. Hello there. I'm glad to see someone new has joined. You looked up again to see a certain flame-haired being of light. It was Rengoku. Mitsuri giggled along with Shinobu as Tengen stood up. Nice to see you, man. Also, how is stationary going? Tengen said as he leaned closer to his friend, who just kept smiling, keeping his owl-like hair star. Oh, everything's going swell so far. Thank you for asking. Tengen gave him a sad smile as he put his hand on his shoulder. Even Rengoku is taller than you? God damn it. Oh, I also forgot. My name is Kanjiro, but you can call me Rengoku, he said as he turned to you, his blinkingly stare at you, like his eyes held no soul in them either. Nice to meet you, Rengoku. My name's Yin, you said as you gave him a small smile. He suddenly felt weird. What was his feeling anyways? But then Tengen had wrapped his muscular arms around Rengoku's shoulder and dragged him off to their original seat. Mitsuri then started to wiggle for some reason. They're just so handsome. How about you, Yin? What do you think? She squealed quietly as she looked at you with her large melon-colored eyes. Shinobu just laughed at her antics. I don't know. They're just here, I guess. You answered, but you didn't know what to say. Sure, they were good-looking, but you weren't looking for anything at the moment. Except for a way out, of course. Aw, I wanted to know something juicy, but oh well, she said. With a smile, Shinobu had sighed, giving you a side glance that was filled with worry. It was unstationable. You didn't know what was happening with him, but you can understand that it was probably bad. And as you looked over to where Tengen and Rengoku had went, you had seen Tengen tell him something, which his eyes filled with worry as he caught your stare. You raised a brow, but before anything else happened, a while was blown. Everyone then became silent and looked over at the person who blew it. It was Hataru. Alright everyone, settle down. We're gonna do something a bit different. How about we see what the newbie got? Any volunteers? Oh, well, I guess it's time for me to die now. Where's a random bottle of Sanaya when you need it? Taisho era secrets, even if it's not the Taisho period. Tengen was the one to start the fight in the hall. Shinobu was really worried for your safety. Rengoku was taken aback by your smile. It looked so real. Zenitsu and Inosuke were going off on Tanjiro for not telling them you were coming. Ataru noticed you had a little to no upper body strength, so that's why he's seeing if you can even lift a sword. Tengen also liked your smile, but it wasn't as apparent as Rengoku. Sorry everyone, but this one is a little bit shorter than the usual one. I kind of want to know what's going on because I haven't read past that part and I want to know why. They're all like, Doma? But I guess we'll both find out. See you guys in the next episode. Bye, love.